Welcome to the Business Hub.
Business in Nigeria. It started as Attorney Nelson.
All right, it's nice to be with you here again on the Building Black Wealth for the North America, and it's been a series that has challenged not just our viewers but I personally, and I'm sure that as we dig deeper, so many things will be brought to the limelight, and it's part of the literacy that this series is trying to bring to our viewers, and I'm sure that it's been beneficial all the way. So it's so interesting that I can't wait to go ahead and ahead, just trying to get more from our financial expert here with us in the studio. No less a person than Isreal Iyamu.
Thank you.
Mr. Isreal.
Thank you.
You are hitting it hard, man.
Yeah,
Last time the thing was biting so seriously, but anyway, you have a way of just making sure that things are eased down and then everybody is able to
get information
properly.
Yeah, that's the essence, and we need to. That's my passion. I mean, we are in a place where we are not yet. I would say we are a little bit disadvantaged, so we are trying to do a cash up now. And that cash up starts from our financial education. So you see this, this is National Financial Literacy Campaign. So we're in a campaign. I'm not a political campaign. It's a campaign for financial.
Elections are coming, man.
No, I'm not concerned about that. My own campaign is for financial literacy.
Yes,
because that's the one way that we can eradicate the level of ignorance that we have in our community.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, viewers, if you haven't been following, I want you to go back, watch all the series from 1 down to the present episode that we are right now. And I'm sure that as you go through, you will actually be grateful and you will appreciate what has been done thus far. So, today, Mr. Isreal, one of the things that you mentioned, at the last episode was probate court-free debt benefit and tax-free debt benefit. So, can you?
Yeah,
let's hear you.
Those two things you just mentioned, they are very huge. They are very huge.
Please, we would love
and
to.
Why do I say they are very huge? Imagine, what is probate actually? It's a court process that the disease. All the disease asset is passed to probate, right?
Yeah.
So most of the accounts that most of us are familiar with, they are probate locked. They don't bypass probate. That means that if you have a GIC, a checking account, a savings account, stock, bond, and all those type of accounts, these are people that are making efforts. They are working out. They feel they are investing, right? Then something happened to that owner of the account. That everything is locked. Not because the person did not make effort to save. The family can be thrown into jeopardy immediately.
Right.
Why? Because it's locked. By law, those accounts are locked. I've experienced it myself.
I also have experienced, I think, when my father-in-law passed on, and we had to do the letter of administration.
And all that.
It took quite a lot.
So in my own case, in fact, I was the one managing back then in my home country. I was the one managing the account. But it took me almost a year to access my father's own account. And I see in those accounts, in the bank where I was a banker for many years, they have billions of naira. That's the currency of my former country. In probate of people that their family cannot get access. This family, they are suffering. Some of them cannot pay school fees. Some of them are dropped out of their career. Some of them are looking for money to invest in business. But they cannot access the disease account. because it's locked in probate. Is there a solution?
Yes.
There is a solution. Do you know that the only two buckets where those kind of issue will be bypassed is life insurance assets and seg funds?
Life insurance
Assets and seg fund. Remember, we're talking about the importance of a properly structured life insurance.
That's right.
Those are the only two in North America. If you want to, you can scan that code and ask me. I will tell you and I will show you. Even your registered account. So imagine somebody that has all that and something unfortunate happen. I mean, people go every day. I know it's a very tough topic to talk about, but it happens. The question you should be asking that should be bothering you is that, why should my hard-earned money goes to a place where my family will not be able to access it? Not only that, for you to access it, you have to pay a lawyer to do the letter administration and all those legal processes. You have to spend money.
Right.
It's going to take time. In Canada, if they are fast, maybe over a year or 1.5 years before the probate court will even sit. Not when they will finish. That's when they will start to say, okay, now somebody has been assigned
For this.
by the government to look into this. Because everything is structured, right?
That's right.
Before they will sit, it's maybe over a year plus before they will sit. We're not talking of when it will be concluded. Even if you have a will also take processes. Now, another part of it is that once everything is done, all said and done, remember, the deceased person will not be kept somewhere waiting. They are going to do burial. The burial cost, in case you don't know, in Canada is over 15K. For a very simple one, maybe at least well above 5,000, 10,000. These are people that are struggling. Now they are faced with a challenge to bury their loved one. So for me, it's something that I'm passionate about what I'm telling you, because we need to move out of the norm.
Now, also when you actually go through the normal letter of administration and all the court processes and all that, certain percentage also goes to the government. Is that true?
I was about going there. You just took it out of my mouth. Now the government is going to take a tax upfront before they credit the balance into whoever that is going to take over the account. Just like the way that is done too, debt is also inherited. So when we talk about the other aspect of it, that tax-free debt benefit, this is another aspect of it. One thing that people don't know, the costs of tax on individual or families is enormous.
Tell us how does.
While you are alive, everything is tax. You work, they tax you. You buy, they tax you. You save, they tax you. Your checking account, and all those things, they are taxed. Even when the person dies, that's what we just said now about probate, right?
Yeah.
It's taxed. Now, if you have an option of a place where all those ones that is locked probate, and they are taxed, and you have an option of where your fund can be, number one, it will bypass probate. Number two, every single dime goes to the family tax-free. Which option will you take? I believe the choice is yours to make the decision of where would you like to be.
This tax-free debt benefit, I want you to throw a little more light on it, because so we can really grasp what it's really all about.
Okay. So like I mentioned, your checking, your GIC, your savings account, your bond, your stock, and all that, all those ones, at debt, they are locked. Now, if you get access to it, they are taxed before the balance goes to the family. But for the life insurance assets or seg funds, every single dime goes to the family tax-free. Now, the option is It's clear. It's crystal clear. You have a $1 million, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one, the guy that is on the news. You can go and Google it. Chad Boseman, the guy that had acted the lead actor on Wakanda.
Okay, yeah.
Wakanda, that film, right? Panther, Black Panther. Black Panther, yeah. After all said and done, after over a year plus and thereabout, when everything was done about his assets, he paid over 1.something million to the government. That's a fund that would have gone to your family tax-free, or maybe to your alma mater or your charity. Those are the funds that will make a lot of impact. Then, even those that are struggling, let's assume you are struggling. You have made effort to set up that kind of account. I might advise you now to set up. Number one, you assess it as quickly as possible. I have a story for you. There's a client of mine that I did this kind of properly structured credit for, life coverage for. And when the client was sick, she was able to assess, she was one of those critical illness condition. She was able to assess the fund that was allocated for the critical illness condition. I mean, she was not going to work, so that became a very good amount of money for her, $100,000. I mean, that's enough. That's a good money, right? Yeah. For somebody that is not going to work. The mortgage is paid, groceries are taken care of, bills are coming, it's taken. So she was relaxed. But because the cancer has gone to that stage 3 or stage 4, I don't know how these medical people call it, she couldn't really move much again. But she was being taken care of because of what she had. During that process, she gave a card to her teenage son to go to the bank and be withdrawing. You know, she was withdrawing from her checking account. Do you know that when that person died, I never knew. I tried to reach out, and his son, we engaged. That's when I got this information. We started processing the claims, our coverage claims. During that process, they were still going to withdraw. But I mean, somebody has died, the ambulance have taken record, they know the day she died. Yeah. After she died, the family, the children were still going to withdraw with the ATM because they have a PIN number, right? Do you know that when they realized that that client has died, immediately they put PND. While I was in the bank, that's what the operation manager has to do. Immediately you hear a client died, the first thing you do, just put PND. No, post no debits. That's what they call PND. Post no debits. It's locked. It has gone to probate. So this client, the bank told him, oh, this person died XYZ. For example, he died last week Wednesday. And you withdrew last week Thursday, last week Friday, Sunday, Monday, till today. The bank asked the family, the teenage children to go and bring the money, all the money they should return it. You can't blame them because that is by law, that account is supposed to be locked.
Sometimes could have been the child's money that he puts in the mother's account.
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows. The name of the account is what matters. So if she has borrowed money somewhere or somebody has given her as a gift, everything goes to probate by law. But we are telling you now that there's a way. Don't suffer the way some of us suffer. I mean, I was matured and I was managing the account. But if I had that kind of opportunity, I wouldn't have spent a dime. So
what's the way out? How do we...
The way out is to get a properly structured coverage. Get somebody that understands the system and to give you those kind of package that will put all those things to consideration so that it will be a peace of mind.
So when you have this coverage and the person dies, what happens?
When the person dies, if you have this kind of coverage, like I just mentioned, the client I mentioned now, there's a critical illness condition tied to the coverage. So she was having that as a living benefit while she was sick.
When the person dies suddenly.
The person died. Then the next thing, the family reports to the insurance company. They'll process the claim. And it takes less than a month.
to do a transfer?
To get the claim, everything. If it's 1 million coverage he has, 1 million goes to the family tax-free. Imagine that compared to waiting for over a year to even access your money. After spending money with lawyer and everything, then the government still collect tax up front. So that's why we're talking of building wealth in our community. You can imagine the loss. You can imagine that kind of loss.
That's right.
It's enormous.
It's enormous.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to bring this to a close. What's your take on will? You know, so I heard you mentioned something about will.
Yes.
You know, when we talked about the probate and all that.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that?
Yeah, my will is good. I mean, if you don't, I mean, part of what I also do too for families, will administration. We have a service provider that we assess to do will administration. So will is the last testament of the deceased person. That's the last testament.
So
right?
It's advisable that everyone should do that.
Yeah, you have a will, but the will is not as smooth like what I say. So even with a will, I've experienced it. Like I told you, I lost my father too. So
because most times,
will has process
maybe
too.
Wrong. Yeah, he has process.
He has process, long process. Executors are not that are there.
It helps the area of the probate issues. It solves some of those issues, don't you think so?
Yeah, the difference between the will and those probate things, that one died intestate, right? The other one has something documented.
Yeah.
You know, for a will, if I have all my assets in terms of cash or liquid or whatever investment in those portfolio I said I'm advising people to do, you not really need a will for that. Because whoever you put as the beneficiary, at the time I'm processing that transaction, at the time I'm putting in place, I ask for beneficiaries. Unlike the other ones, they tell you to put, they said, they call it, what's the name that they put in their account? Next of kin. Next of kin is someone that they contact in case of emergency. It's not, it doesn't have any. So immediately you put it there. And the good thing about it, you can change while you're still alive. You can update those that are the beneficiaries. You can change it at will. And you don't need to pay a lawyer to do that. Sorry if you're a lawyer, I'm not taking business out of your hand. But you don't need to pay a lawyer to do that. So for a will, there are a lot of things that goes in.
Administering
but it's better to have it than not to have.
Administering that.
Yes.
You know, you talked about beneficiaries.
Yes.
So what's the depth of description on beneficiaries that are attached to such?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you have that kind of, what I advise, I say, okay, when we get to that point, this is your beneficiary, please think through. What would you want to put there?
No, let's say you have 5 beneficiaries.
Yeah, you can.
Just like in a will.
Yes.
You can say, I will this.
Yes.
I will that.
Yeah, I know where you're going to.
So
if you have 5 beneficiaries, you can split it into percentage.
Oh, so
you can do lump sum of 1 person 100%, or 5 people 20%. If you have 10 people, you can do it 10%.
Thank you, Mr. Isreal. All right,
and if you are quarreling, you can come and change 1 person.
So I quarrel with you. I reduce your percentage.
Straight away.
Thank you so much, Mr. Isreal.
Thank you very much.
It's been beautiful and well engaging and interesting, educating. Thank you, guys. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for being part of today's edition. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. All right, have a great day. My name is Ukela Prince.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Business in Nigeria. It started as Arsenal